Let's go ahead and begin in a seated position. Now, this position should be a more comfortable position. So see if possibly you can bring one ankle in front of the other with the knees spread out a little bit wider. So this allows your knees to drop down below your hips. You can also place something underneath your bottom to give you a little bit more comfort, um, but allowing your spine so it feels like it can be lifted and tall. Bring your hands together at your feet or resting on top of your knees. I want you to close your eyes, relax your mouth and jaw, and see if you can take a full breath in through your nose, letting it flow all the way down to the base of your belly. And then as you breathe in, you feel that this breath is filling up like a glass of water up the torso. Exhale and ease the breath fully out, feeling your shoulders, your chest, and your belly return back to that original shape. Inhale again. And exhale out. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Another full breath in. And exhale out. And with your next inhale, lift your chin up towards the sky. Exhale, nod your head down towards your chest, still keeping your spine long. Inhale and lift the chin back up towards the sky, lifting up from the back of the head and neck too, so the head doesn't collapse down. Exhale, nod the head back down towards your chest. Inhale, lift the chin back up. And exhale, nod the head down. With your next inhale, drag your chin across the chest over towards your right shoulder. And then exhale, drag the chin across the chest to your heart, and then all the way over, inhaling to your left shoulder. Exhale, down towards your chest, and inhale to the right. Exhale, down. Inhale, left. And exhale, down. Inhale, right. Exhale to your chest. Inhale, left. And exhale, return back down towards your chest. Inhale, lift the chin back up through center and bringing it parallel towards the ground. Let the fingertips come down to the floor beside you, stretching out a little bit wider than your side body. I want you to inhale and bring the arms all the way up. Lengthening up through your fingertips. Interlace your fingers and flex the palms up towards the sky. See if you can find a big stretch on both sides of your waist. Good. And then exhale. Bring the hands to the back of your head, bending your elbows. Squeeze your elbows in tight to your ears, and then tuck your chin into your chest. Try not to add so much resistance with your hands that your head feels like it's just being forced down. I want you to see if you can push your head back up into your hands. So you're adding a little bit of resistance. And now pushing even more with your head. Spread the elbows out wide. Lift the chin up. Good. Feel the shoulder blades start to come together on the back. Good. And then exhale, tipping right elbow towards the floor, left elbow to the sky, reaching all the way up through your left side waist. Inhale, lift up, and exhale over to the other side. See if you can turn that right elbow straight up towards the sky. And then inhale, lifting up. Exhale, release the hands down towards the ground. Let's try that one more time. Inhale, reaching up. Interlace your fingers, flex through the palms, reaching up through the heels of the hands. Exhale, hands at the back of the head. Wrap the elbows around your ears and push your head down gently. Head is going to resist. Inhale, elbows spread out wide, shoulder blades squeeze. Exhale, dipping right elbow towards the floor, left elbow to the sky. Inhale, lift yourself up, and exhale over to the other side. Inhale, lifting up, and exhale, release your hands down. Take the hands to the front of your knees and shins. We're going to rock through the pelvis, rolling from the front of the sit bones, coming forward, lifting up with the chest, and then pressing your hands into your shins and knees. Inhaling up here, and then exhale, round through the spine, leaning back. Use your hands to catch you so that you don't go too far back. Inhale as you rock forward, lifting up with the chest, shoulder blades squeeze, and then exhale, round through the spine, and taking it back. Inhale, rocking forward, lifting up. Exhale, rounding through the spine and reaching back, especially through your low back. Inhale again, lifting up. And exhaling, rounding it back, squeezing from the abdomen as you press your tail underneath you. Good. Inhale, make your way up to a neutral spine. We're going to change the crossing of the feet, so opposite foot in front. And then bring your hands to your knees once more. We're going to go into these circular rolls known as Sufi rolls. Good. Inhale, lift up. You're going to exhale, lean forward, just as we were doing earlier, but this time we're going to dip down as far as we can go. Elbows will bend. Circle your body over towards the right. Scoop the tail under, wrap around towards the left, and then dip down, forward, and out in front of you. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you round from the back and down the left side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Once your belly comes down by your feet, you're going to change directions, inhaling toward the left. Exhale as you round back and down the right side. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Good. One more circle. Using the fullness of the breath as you rock around, stretching out those hips. Good. Once you reach your feet, inhale and lift yourself back up to a comfortable seat. Let's make our way onto our hands and knees, coming into a tabletop position. You can either roll over your ankles or swing the legs off to one side. If you need a little extra cushion for your knees, you can always place a small hand towel directly underneath. Otherwise, hands underneath your shoulders, fingertips spread out wide, and the knees directly underneath your pelvis. Inhale, see if you can lift your tail up towards the sky. Notice how the belly starts to drop down. And then firm the shoulder blades back as you stretch your chest forward, looking out in front of you. Exhale, round the spine. We call this cat pose. It resembles the shape of a scaredy cat with that arched back. Chin tucks into chest. Inhale, open up. Send the tail up towards the sky. Lengthen and stretch to the front of your body. Exhale, round the spine. Squeezing up and in from the navel, and see if you can really emphasize the stretch in the low back. Inhale as you open up. Chest and shoulders squeeze together. Good. Exhale, round through the spine and round it back. Good. Inhale and exhale. Good. Inhale to a neutral spine, and then make your way back into child's pose. This can be either done with your knees wide or together, but you're going to have your big toes touching regardless, and the hips are going to be sinking back on top of your heels. You're going to come into the extended version of child's pose for the forehead touching down onto the ground and the arms stretching out in front of you. See if you can get your hips down heavily as you lengthen out through the upper body. Good. Full breaths into your belly, and see if you can feel the breath moving through the side waist and low back. Good. Then slowly make your way up onto all fours into a tabletop position. We're going to move through those cat-cows, so the arching and the rounding of the back, and then transition into our child's pose. So feeling how we can really maximize the stretch in the low back. Let's start off with our inhalation. So the tail lifts up, chest extends forward, head lifts up. Exhale, round the spine like a cat. Pull the navel in, tuck the chin into chest. When you feel that you're at the peak of your rounding of your back, I want you to send the hips back and lower them down to your heels. So you're in this child's pose position. Inhale, press into hands, knees, and shins, and come right into your cow pose. Starting to unfold the front of the body. And then exhale, round the spine, scoop the tail under, round back, and send the hips towards your heels. Inhale as you press forward, lengthening and bringing your chest out in front of you. Exhale as you round the spine, scoop the tail under, and lean back. Inhale as you come forward and through, collarbones widen. Exhale, round the spine, send the hips back into your child's pose. Good. One more time. Inhale, coming forward, lifting up with the tail and crown. Exhale, round the spine, sending those hips back. And we're going to stay here in our child's pose. Forehead lightly touching onto the ground, if that's within your capacity today. Good. And walk the hands over towards the right. Pressing into those hands, let the head come down in between your arms and feel a big stretch along the left side of your body. Good. Walk the hands back in through center and across to the other side of your mat. And then bringing your belly down as you lean into your right side ribs. Taking full breaths into that right side waist. And then walking the hands back in through center and making your way back up onto hands and knees. We're going to walk our knees forward to our wrists and then cross one ankle or shin over the other and then rolling back until you're on your seat. I'm going to turn to face you. Okay, so for our next position, I want you to bring the soles of the feet together, knees spread out into that V shape. Now you may feel like your knees are really high up, and that's okay. I want you to focus on the energy of pressing your shins towards the ground. So think of less of your knees going down, but more of the outer shins. So grab a hold of the front of your shins, okay, and then press down into your hands. So you feel like the knees are pressing down into the ground or moving towards the ground. Take a full breath in as you lift up taller, and then exhale, lean forward. See if you can move your belly button towards your feet. Good. If you have the stretch, you can go a little bit further, only if that feels okay with your body. And sometimes it's important that we go only about 80% of our capacity instead of the full 100%, that we don't want to sustain that maximal intensity because it is very challenging to do. And we want to make sure that we have enough energy to come out of the pose, that we're not going too far into injury. And we make this a more relaxing experience just by not going full out. Good. Inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, you're going to take your right hand behind your right thigh, move your left hand to the inside of your knee, press down just nicely, and dip your shoulder down out in front of you. See if you can twist through the rib cage and look over your right shoulder. Good. Come back in through center. Left hand to the back of the thigh, right hand switches sides, pressing down and leaning forward. And then turn to look over your left shoulder. Good. Inhale, come back in through center. Scoop the hands underneath the knees and draw the legs together. I'm going to turn sideways just for a different view here. Extend your left leg out in front of you, and I want you to take your right foot and cross it up and over to the outside of your left leg. Squeeze your knee into your chest so you can lift yourself up taller. So you're pressing down into your sit bones to grow taller through your spine. You may be feeling a stretch here, and I really want you to feel that this right sit bone, the bony part of your bottom, is still pressing down into the ground. Good. We're going to take a moment here, and now we're going to move into a twist. So left arm is either going to hug the knee. It can move to the outside of the knee if you have that flexibility. And then right fingertips behind you as you lift up taller. Take a look over your right shoulder and squeeze through that spine. And see if you can keep your chin parallel to the ground. And you're lifting up here, not leaning back, but reaching up taller. Good. Inhale, rotate back in through center. Hug that knee in towards the chest again. And then exhale, extend your right leg out in front of you. Bend your left knee. Take the foot to the outside of your right leg. Foot is on the floor. And then hug the knee in towards the center of your chest. You grow up nice and tall through your spine. Create that space between the vertebrae. Good. And now moving into the twist. So right arm can either hug onto that leg or move to the outside of the leg. Left fingertips reach behind you and then turning and rotating away from your leg. Good. Lifting up a little bit taller and then turning to look over your left shoulder if you have that in your neck. Good. Another full breath in here. And then inhale, rotate the chest back in through center. Extend both legs out in front of you. Create a little bit of a bend in your knees. And this is a little bit nicer way of accessing a forward folding position so that we're not putting so much strain in our low back. But in fact, this is an excellent low back stretch. So with that bend in the knees, I want you to slide your arms underneath and see if you can clasp your hands around the opposite elbow or forearm. Start to press out through your heels as your head comes down, still keeping your belly glued to your thighs. Now there's going to be a point where your belly feels like it's going to pull off at the thighs. I want you to stop before that point. So see if you can breathe into that low back sensation, letting the head drop down and feeling the release in your neck. Good. Another full breath in here. And taking your hands to either side of your legs, press into the ground and gently lift your spine up. You're going to bend both knees and plant the feet on the floor. Slide your hips forward just a little bit more and then bring your hands back behind you. This is bothersome with your wrist to have your fingertips forward. Turn the fingertips to reach out wide to the side. You're going to press down into your feet, lift your hips up, start to feel the stretch across the front of the body and maybe tipping the head back. Big opening in this reverse tabletop position. Keep drilling through your heels so you open up the hips. Good, and then exhale, tuck the chin, lower your hips down, and you're going to lower yourself down onto your back. In this reclined position, give yourself a little opportunity to relax here. We're going to bring our knees into our chest, wrap the arms around, and rock side to side, massaging out the low back. Good. Come back to stillness with the legs. You're going to separate the knees apart. The feet are going to come with. You're going to bring your feet up towards the sky. So there should be a nice bend in those legs. Climb the hands up the outsides of the legs towards the ankles, or even grabbing a hold of the feet. And I want you to feel that the shoulders are open here so that we're not reaching up and grabbing onto something that might be a little out of our reach. And then see if you can draw the knees down towards the ground. So they're kind of plunging towards the floor. It's sometimes nice to rock side to side, massaging in what we call happy baby pose. Good. And then returning back to stillness. Bend the knees fully, draw the knees together, and bring them all the way together. Open the arms out wide into a T shape, and then turn the hips like a doorknob over towards the right. Let the feet relax down on the ground. Good. Close the eyes as you turn your nose over towards your left fingertips. Good. Inhale, lift the knees back up through center. And exhale, take the legs over to the left, rotating from the hips and then gazing out over your right fingertips. Good. Big stretch. Inhale, lift the knees back up through center, and then slowly extend the legs out in front of you, coming into our corpse pose. The legs reach out in front of you. The feet are going to be a little bit wider than your hips. Shoulders walk underneath your body, and then the palms turn to face up. See if you can make yourself as comfortable as possible. So giving yourself any other movements or adjustments to feel that all of the body, all of your weight can release into the ground. Close the eyes if you haven't already. And just begin to breathe into your belly and chest, lightly touching in the low throat. And breathing all the way out. Imagine yourself as if you were resting on soft, warm sand of a beach. The weight of your body sinking down into the ground. And the sand forming around your body, almost as if it's cradling you, and fully supporting you. And just imagine that the sun is starting to set on this beach. And that you have the power to control how quickly the sun is setting with your exhalation. That every time that you exhale, as long as you are exhaling and releasing and expelling the breath from the body, the sun starts to slowly descend closer to the horizon each time. And once you notice that the sun begins to dip below the horizon, setting the day, you enjoy that twilight moment where it's neither night nor day. You just feel suspended. Allow yourself to go more comfortably into that place of darkness. And that place of darkness is not a bad place or a scary place. In fact, it is our opportunity to find that place of rest and to go into our subconscious and to feel more spacious, more receptive, more intuitive. Take another full breath in here. And deep breath out. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And find some movement, some circles in your wrists and ankles. Be rocking your head side to side. And give yourself a big stretch as the arms reach up and overhead, lengthening out through the entire body, reaching through fingers and toes. Maybe it induces a little bit of a yawn. And then exhale, releasing with a sigh. As you squeeze your knees into your chest, let the hands wrap around. And slowly rock side to side. And carefully tip over onto one side, letting your knees and your head roll all the way over. Use your top hand to press into the ground. The top leg extends away from you. Press into the ground and slowly make your way up to a seated position. Come back to that easy seat that began our practice. Bring your hands together at heart center. Bow your head softly forward. The light within me bows to the light within you. Namaste.